Mercari is my favorite reselling platform to list on when I'm just decluttering around the house or Marie Kondoing because it's both super easy to list on and really easy to ship out an item once it sells. I have made literally thousands of dollars on Mercari since I started selling on there casually a few years ago. And so if you want to learn more about how to sell on Mercari from my perspective as a part-time reseller, then definitely stay tuned. And if you at any point during this video want to try out Mercari for yourself, I do have a referral link down in the description below, and by using it to sign up, you get a little bit of credit to shop with for your first purchase on Mercari, and I get a little bit of credit for referring you. So let's learn about how to sell on Mercari right now.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park and I am a part-time reseller, which means that I find stuff to sell, sometimes just around my house, sometimes I go to thrift stores or different garage sales and places like that. I find things for as cheap as I can to sell on reselling platforms like Mercari, and I make a really good side income doing that as my side hustle. So in this video, I thought I would share with you a quick tutorial on how to use the Mercari app, as well as share some tips with you on how you can make a little bit more money using this platform called Mercari. If you enjoy reselling content like this, definitely make sure that you hit that subscribe button because I do upload at least 2 videos a week, and make sure that you hit that like button as well so that I know that you enjoy this video and continue to make more like this. The first piece of advice that I'd give to anyone who's interested in selling on Mercari is look through your own house first for things that you and your family don't use anymore. I'm going to share with you right now examples of actual things that I've sold on Mercari, things that I just found around the house, and I will share with you that these are the kinds of things that I shop for as well on Mercari, because not only do I sell on there, but I'm also an avid shopper of things that my family and I need. And so the first category of things that you can look through are books. I have sold a number of books on Mercari, and I'm always so surprised at the kinds of books that sell. The next category is clothes. I know, fashion trends are always changing. If you have kids, they're always growing. And so I am constantly finding clothes that we no longer wear in the house, and I just list them on Mercari for other people to buy. The next category is sports equipment. We've also sold a lot of toys and games. These are really popular items on Mercari, as well as baby gear. Anything from when your kids were babies, chances are other new parents are looking for those items as well, so go ahead and list them. Things that you use in the kitchen, any sort of appliances or any sort of pots and pans, plates, china, these are things that can do really well on Mercari. I've also sold bath and body products, perhaps things that you ended up purchasing but just never used for whatever reason. Those are things that I listed on Mercari and made some money on. Electronics obviously can be a huge money maker. I have sold video game consoles, I have sold other electronic devices, and even accessories that go with electronics, and those can sell for really good money. Basically, if you have anything in your home that you're like, no one is using this anymore, just look on Mercari and see if anyone else has sold anything like that before. And even if they haven't, go ahead and list it and see what happens. Once you have items that you want to sell on Mercari, now you just have to take pictures of them. I know a lot of people get stuck here because they feel like they have to take professional quality photos with a nice camera, but that's simply not the case. You can just use your phone and take the best pictures possible for whatever it is that you're capable of doing at that moment. And even if that means that we can see your kitchen in the background, even if that means the lighting isn't perfect, that's okay, because what that shows shoppers on Mercari is that they're buying from an actual human being, not some sort of large corporation or company. So it's actually not a bad thing to show that you're human in the pictures. For example, I took pictures of these Nikes outside in the grass, as you can see, because the lighting was great out there, and I still sold those shoes for, I want to say, like $68. So, you don't have to have a professional backdrop or a professional camera to take your pictures. You just want to make sure that the pictures accurately show what it is that you're trying to sell. I would advise that you take as many pictures as possible, especially from different angles, and if there are any flaws on the item in question, you do want to make sure that you take pictures of the flaws and talk about them in your description as well, just so that your buyer knows exactly what it is that they're going to be purchasing and there are no surprises when they get the item. Next, you're obviously going to list the item on Mercari, and I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to do that from your phone. Here I am on the Mercari app, and what I'm going to do to list an item is look at the icons on the very bottom, and the center bottom icon is sell. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So you can see some of the items that I have sold, my listings, different goals that I had set for myself. You can see some stats, so you can see a few different things. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and click on list an item. And now it takes you to the page where you can list your item to sell. So the first thing that I'm going to do is find the pictures for this particular listing. You can take pictures using Mercari, but I'm going to go ahead and go into my library because I've taken pictures already, and I'm just going to find them from my photo library on my phone and put them into Mercari. As you can see, I have lots of pictures of clothes on my phone, but I'm going to go ahead and take these pictures of these Nike Pro leggings. They did belong to me, but are just a little too small. So instead of just calling them leggings, I'm going to call them Nike Pro Hyper Warm. I guess I could call them tights, but I'm going to call them leggings. And I'm going to go ahead and put the size as well. I try to use as many of the characters as possible just because then it makes it easier for people to find my item using a variety of search terms. And I'll just go ahead and say size, extra, small, and we'll say red. Okay. So I used up, 37 out of 40 characters. Some people have more characters on Mercari. I still don't, which is fine. And now I'm going to describe these tights. When you write a description for a Mercari listing, you want to be as thorough as you need to be. Again, you want to disclose any flaws or problems there may be with the item. For clothing, I do like to take pictures of the measurements. And so in the description, I'll just, tell the buyer to make sure that they check the pictures for measurements. You want to talk about the condition of the item. And I also throw in a few keywords just in case people are looking up terms like athletic or athleisure. So utilize this space to make sure that your item is easily searchable. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is put in 3 hashtags. I try to use words that I couldn't fit in the title to begin with. These are just additional ways for people to find my listing is by searching by hashtag. So I'm going to say athletic, athleisure, and I'll say leggings since I use the word tights in my listing title. The category looks great. The brand looks great. Styles, I could put stripe. That's fine. The model, I don't really know this model name. I'm going to look up Pro. And I guess these are like 7th, 8th graphic tights. I'll just go ahead and click that. They are in red. The condition is good, but it's not new without tags. And these are a size extra small. It does ship from that zip code. And then I'm going to select my shipping here. So for delivery, you have a few options. You can decide to simply ship the item to your buyer. You can decide just to do Mercari local, which is pretty new for Mercari. And essentially what that means is for a flat fee of $7.99, anyone who is local to you can have the item delivered to them. And what Mercari does is they go through Postmates or Uber. Someone from one of those two companies will come to your house, pick up the item, and drive it to whoever is purchasing it from you locally. This is really great for if you're selling really big, heavy items, if you have workout equipment, things like weights. This is a great way to sell those items because you may not want to pay or ask someone else to pay, hundreds of dollars to get that item shipped across the nation, but perhaps that's something that if someone only had to pay $8 to get it picked up from your house and driven over to their house, they'd be willing to do. So Mercari Local is a newer delivery option that they just came out with. And then finally, you can actually do a combination of both. And that's what I have turned on. As you can see up at the top, it says delivery method. I have Mercari Local and shipping are selected. Buyer pays for delivery for both. So if this does sell the normal way through Mercari shipping, it is up to half a pound. These are super lightweight, so they would only have to pay $4.80 for it to be shipped out. If they do want to purchase it locally, they will have to pay a little bit more to get it dropped off to them, but I will just go ahead and turn on both because why not? You also have the option of shipping it yourself, which means you're going to purchase a shipping label, but if you're going to do that, just know that you kind of lose out on all of the protection that you get from Mercari if you were to use Mercari shipping label. For example, if something were to happen to the item in transit while you're shipping it, you're not going to get Mercari's protection that you would if you were to use one of their labels. So I honestly do ship through Mercari now just so I have that extra protection. And then finally, you're going to set your price. I did a little bit of research by looking at listings similar to mine. I researched to see how others were pricing them and how much they had sold for. And if you're still unsure, even after doing your research, if you click on set your price, Mercari will give you some advice on how to price your item. So they're saying $22 is just the right price in terms of how you should price this item. You know, if I drag it higher to 25, which is how much I want to price it at, they're saying it's going to be a little bit slower of a sale. And they're actually not even going to let me price it higher than 33. I feel like I could try. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I mean, I can price it at 50, which would be ridiculous. But if I were to price it lower, you know, they're saying at like $9, I'm going to get rid of this extremely fast. So they do give you some guidelines, which is really great. But according to my research, I'm going to go ahead and price it at $25, which they're saying is slow. That's fine because I am going to turn on smart pricing. And I will talk more about smart pricing later. But basically what it does is it enables you to set a floor price, and Mercari will gradually adjust the price until it hits my floor price, which is basically my bottom price that I'm comfortable letting it go for. I am okay with letting it go for $15, so I'm going to go ahead and put that as my floor price. And so once it hits $15, Mercari will stop dropping the price gradually. That is everything I need to do in order to list this pair of tights. So I'm going to go ahead and list these. Everything looks good to go, and you'll be able to see that now it is up for sale on Mercari. So the last step to selling on Mercari is shipping the item once it sells. And Mercari really does make this extremely simple. You do need to be able to weigh your item just so that you're able to purchase an accurate shipping label through Mercari. If you remember from listing the item, you decided whether you were going to go through Mercari's shipping or if you were going to ship on your own. And so all you have to do is print out the label, find some sort of packaging for your item. If it's, you know, something like clothes or something extremely soft to begin with, like a plush, you can just go ahead and stick it in a poly mailer. But if it is something a little bit more heavy duty, like some sort of electronic or, you know, dishes, you want to make sure that you protect the item as much as possible with things like bubble wrap or craft paper. And then you want to put it in a box and make sure that there's not a lot of space for that item to move around and possibly get damaged in transit. And then you want to seal the box or poly mailer the best that you can, slap your label on it that you purchased, and send it on its merry way within the time frame that Mercari gives you to ship out an item. This is how you get happy customers who will rate you positively and give you 5 stars once the transaction is complete. And that's how you can attract more and more customers as you continue your Mercari journey, because they're able to see that you have many successful transactions under your belt as they read the different ratings that people have left you and see the number of successful transactions you have on your account. So I wanted to share 3 quick tips with you. The first one is called smart pricing. We did talk about this a little bit earlier in the video. I alluded to the idea of smart pricing. And what Mercari does is they allow you to obviously set your price on an item, but then they allow you to do something called smart pricing, which means you're able to create a floor price for how low you're willing to go on an item. And so what they'll do is, let's say that you price the item at $25, but you say, realistically, I would be comfortable selling this item for as low as $15. What Mercari will do then is slowly drop the price every day on your item from $25 until it gets to $15. So they'll drop the price little by little, attracting new people as they see the price drop. So this allows you to do a couple things. It does allow you to price ambitiously because you never know who could be looking for that particular item. But in case it doesn't sell at your dream price, it does take the workload off of you of having to remember to go back and slowly drop the price on the item by just doing it for you. And again, you are able to tell Mercari what you want that bottom floor price to be, so it doesn't dip below a number that you're uncomfortable with. This is something that I utilize on basically every single one of my Mercari listings. This is how I make a lot of sales myself, is as the price is slowly dropping, someone will come along and snatch up the item at the slightly lowered price. And I didn't have to invest any of my own time in dropping the price. Mercari just did it for me through their smart pricing tool. The next tip that I'll share with you is to participate in Mercari's promotions. They offer 2 things. One is called promoting listings and the other one is offers to likers. We'll talk about promoting your listings first. You can promote up to 10 listings a day, and all you do is press the button that says promote. What I personally do is I sort my listings by what has the most likes to begin with, and I will promote my 10 listings with the highest number of likes. The reason for that is because those people who have liked your item will get a notification saying that you promoted it, which means that you have dropped the price on that item by at least 5%. So basically you've put that item on sale. And another thing that it does is it kind of puts a boost on that listing and pushes it out in front of other people who are looking for that item as well. And it just kind of boosts that item in the Mercari algorithm. So not only do people who have already liked your item see that, you're putting that item on sale, hopefully triggering one of those people who have liked your item to buy the item at that new, slightly lower price, but it also pushes that listing out a little more aggressively for the rest of the Mercari community to see. So promoting your listings is something that I definitely recommend doing on a daily basis on at least 10 items. And the other promotion that Mercari offers is something called offers to likers. And it's similar to promoting your listing, but instead of actually having to drop the price to a new lower price for everyone to see, you can simply send a discounted price to only those who have liked your item in the past. So if you have a GameCube that you're selling and 100 people have liked the item, if you send out offers to likers, it's only going to send that discounted price to those 100 people who have liked your item, but everyone else who has not liked your GameCube listing yet will still see the original price that you had it priced for. And you can send as many offers to likers as you want per day. There is no limit the way that there is for promoted listings on Mercari. The last tip that I'll share with you when it comes to Mercari is to tell everyone and their mom about Mercari. And the reason for that is this. Mercari has one of the greatest referral programs I have ever seen in my life. Like I shared with you earlier, not only do I sell on Mercari, but I also buy a ton off of Mercari. And one of the reasons for that is because of Mercari's referral program. I have purchased many, many items on Mercari, but I don't think I've paid very much out of pocket at all. And it's all because of the referral program. If someone signs up for Mercari using your personalized referral link that Mercari gives you, not only do they get a little bit of money to shop with their first time on Mercari, but you also get a $10 profit once they make their first purchase. Not only that, but if you can convince them to sell on Mercari as well, once they earn $100 in completed sales on Mercari, you'll receive an additional $40 of credit. I personally recommend telling everyone you know about Mercari and sharing your link with them, and even just kind of helping them through the first stages of how to use Mercari, because you can greatly benefit from it. We've purchased so much through Mercari, the majority of it for free, just because I tell people about Mercari and encourage them to sign up for it, to sell things that they find laying around their house that they don't use anymore, just like I'm sharing with you. That is it for my video on Mercari. Thank you so much to Mercari for partnering with me in making this video. And I hope that you guys feel a little bit more confident about making money on your used stuff. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and feel free to leave them in the comments below. And if you have any other tips that you would like to share on how to make more sales on Mercari, please share those tips down in the comments below as well, so that we can all continue learning from one another, myself included. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe for more content just like this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.